after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid.
Alright, so everyone did this as a kid, right? You're in a store and you see those vending machines. Ooh, you want that drink or that candy bar. It's a highlight in a young kid's day. There's staples in communities everywhere. Lifelong family, friends, and friends of the podcast are here for you. Gymnasiums, rec centers, playgrounds, wherever. KL&P Vending Inc. Family owned, family run. Come to us when you need your vending done. That's where the Gamertime Podcast is going. Call them. 717-371-3350. That's KL&P Vending Inc.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a while, but hey, we're back with you. We're not going anywhere. We're sticking with you, and it's good to be back. Guys, I'm glad you're still with us, and I am Big Al Mocious, and
Big Al.
You all know my partner, Matthew Kelly.
What's up?
Great intro, Matthew. So, we do have a special guest today. You know, our longtime friend from Hempfield High School, Mr. Tyler White. How you doing today, Tyler?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
What's up?
We're ready to get started here.
Alright. What do you got? What's up? What's up first?
Well, I know some of you fans out there are like hockey, so you know that the Eastern Conference Finals are underway, and you got the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Boston Bruins, and right now Boston's up 1-0. So that should be an interesting series. And then the west side, you got the San Jose Sharks facing the St. Louis Blues. So anybody got anything on just who they're... Do you think Carolina can come back after being down in the first game?
I think they definitely can. I mean, I feel like they're one of those teams they're kind of a team of destiny. I mean, they're like that Cinderella team. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs at all.
Right.
Boston, I know Boston the Celtics just got eliminated in basketball, but I know Boston almost had the, what do they call it? The Boston Grand Slam, or the Boston something like that, where the Patriots won, the Red Sox won, the Bruins are almost there, and the Celtics were almost there. That'd be insane. Imagine if that happened in Philadelphia.
For a whole city to do that, that's impressive.
They are so spoiled up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they win like 17 championships a year.
I know. It's insane. Yeah.
So, as far as that's concerned, I still think Carolina's going to take it, and on the West, I think San Jose tops that one. So
is that Boston home ice?
Oh yes, Boston does have home ice.
So they took game 1 5-2.
Yeah, they were down 2-1 at the end of the second, and that's when I went to sleep. It was late at that point. I had to get up early. But and then I saw they scored 4 goals in the third to win it. So it's almost like they were toying with them. It's like, okay.
Yeah. The Blues and Sharks on the other side. Who's the favorite in that?
I believe
it would probably be San Jose.
San Jose has the home ice, and I think they're a team that's been there before, and I think their talent alone just can get them back there to the Stanley Cup. Yeah,
I mean I know that, and this is the first time in history where the 2 number 1 seeds were out in the first round, right?
Yes, right. And
definitely hasn't happened in basketball. That's the thing.
Tampa Bay had the best regular season record ever. In the history of the league, and they got swept in the first round.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
It's good to see some new teams in it.
Yeah, and both San Jose and St. Louis have never won a Stanley Cup.
Oh, wow.
And they've both been around for a while, so that's kind of hard to believe.
Alrighty.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Baseball?
Yeah, well, speaking of baseball, folks, we were talking about major leagues, but
that was transition for the pros there, right? By the way, baseball?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you a little curveball here.
Oh, nice! There you go. That was good.
We're gonna go with the Lancaster Barnstormers they're in the Atlantic League. It's an independent league for players, older time players coming down there, and some players can get called up. Well, as some of you know, Bryce Harper's brother is actually pitching for the Lancaster Barnstormers, and he is in the bullpen.
Is he also getting $300 million a year, or $300 million over 13 years?
I don't believe so.
Oh, damn.
But
They would have to add on that stadium.
Yeah.
Quadruple it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I went couple Wednesdays ago. I went to see him pitch, and he pitched 3 innings, had 4 Ks. He did good, and I think the way the Phillies bullpen is right now, they could use him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just got back. I think I told you earlier. We just got back this past weekend from Citizens Bank itself.
Wow.
In the heart of Philadelphia to see the Phillies in the Nationals, and it was Jimmy Rollins' retirement night.
Oh boy, that must have been fun.
That was really cool to see Jimmy again. And they had they had a couple of the players up on the big screen showing you like Ryan Howard and Chase Utley and stuff like that. And it was nice to actually see Bobby Abreu in person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, he was like his arms, man.
Yeah,
like,
like,
freaking
why didn't you look like that when you played?
Exactly. Yeah, but it was cool. It was fun. We had a good time. The game didn't end so well. They jacked up a whole bunch of runs in the 7th and then lost them in the 8th. And
Yeah, that was bad.
yeah, it wasn't the best ending, but we had a good time. Yeah.
They won the next day, so they made up for it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did they take the series?
Yeah. 2
Okay.
out of 3.
2 out of 3. That's not bad. Yeah. So right now they're in Kansas City against the Royals. 21-15 Phillies against 13-25 Royals.
Yeah, got to at least take 2 out of 3 there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's
Yeah.
in front of what 300 people tonight.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know the actual.
It's like a record low. Did you hear about that?
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Did you say it was like 5,000?
Yeah, it's like 5,000 people in a 40,000
just
park.
5,000? I mean, come
I think
on.
that's
Was everyone got plans tonight? Like, come on, see some baseball, people.
Big Al's hot takes. Yeah.
He's red in the face right now.
What about Harper? I know that he was still going through a pretty rough streak when we went
Yeah.
to see him. Is he still going through that?
Well, he had a grand slam the other day.
Oh, shit.
Against the Cardinals, I believe.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
took 2 out of 3 in that series too, so they're back on track. But all he needs, he's so good that once he gets hot, I mean it's gonna be ridiculous.
You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
and his numbers aren't even that bad, right? Like for the season, I mean I think he has like 8 home runs,
Okay.
which might be on pace for 30 something, which I'll
Good,
take
yeah.
30 some home runs from anybody.
Right.
So
And you all know, like the better players, everyone struggles, but just give him some more time, and you'll see those stats improve.
he'll get hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Correct.
My Bankies are up 2-0 over the Rays. So now the Rays, the Rays are a surprising team too. They're playing pretty well. On top of the division, a game and a half up on the Yankees. But currently the Phillies are number 1 in theirs, 4 up on the Braves. So it's a nice cushion. I mean, you think this lasts for the next 100 games, 100 plus? Like, is your prediction for the Phillies to win that division?
I personally, at the beginning, thought they would come in second,
Second.
but
Who's first?
I had the Atlanta Braves in
Okay.
to begin that one.
Yeah.
As far as speaking of your Bankies, how's your health wise with your players?
Oh, I
Are they
don't
getting
like-
better, or like what's going on?
Not
there?
really, dude. It's freaking
I've never
ugly.
seen like a team so depleted by injuries, and it's all their best players.
Yeah, it's a freaking all-star injured reserve. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, did I say that right? Not injured reserve.
List.
Injured list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
they
injured
changed.
list.
Yeah.
So
It's an all-star injured list. It's insane. So.
And they're still over 500, right?
Yeah, they're 22-15.
That's
so
crazy.
But yeah, even the Red Sox are starting to climb back. They're 500, which is I thought they were.
They had a horrible start.
A bad start. Yeah, I heard Chris Sale got his first win just recently, over like the last day or two.
Wow.
That's-
he's one of those top guys who's been around for a while, and he's always a big name thrown around, so that's surprising.
Yeah. Who's your if you had to predict right now, who's your dark horse like MVPs? I shouldn't say dark horse. That's like somebody we don't know, but like your favorite for your MVP right now. NL.
NL?
A lot of people are looking to Milwaukee for that right now with Yelich.
Yeah, he's definitely a great person there for that. I can't name one specifically at the moment, but I think I'd take some of the veteran type players right now over the rookies, and it's
Okay, I mean, you can't ignore Trout in the AL.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
He's always gonna put up numbers, but it's like, other than that, I mean, you can't look at the Yankees. I know going into the season, I think they had a couple of guys that you kind of think about on that list, but I think their 2 best, 3 best, 4 best, 5 best players are all out right now.
Might
So
even be
it's,
12
I
best,
know.
15 best.
Yeah, it's bad.
That Mountain Dew bit looks pretty good to me right now, doesn't it, Matthew?
Whatever. Yeah. So, so there was one big thing that happened just recently, and it is our main talking point, our main storyline here for this episode, and that's the draft.
The NFL draft.
The NFL draft. It was a good one too. I mean, there were some huge surprises. They had I'm sure the Giants are super happy with their first round.
Yeah, I believe so.
Everybody
They
thought
had
that was
4 picks in the first round or something.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, them and the Raiders. Yeah. Okay, so you have your number 1 pick with the Arizona Cardinals, the Heisman Trophy winner. What do you think about that?
I was actually the coach that they have, the offensive coordinator that they have came from Texas Tech, and he is very high on offense, and so in a way it didn't surprise me that they went quarterback of the future for them, and providing big plays with his feet, with his arms, any way you can get it. But I actually thought they would keep their quarterback Rosen that they had, and take take like a defense or goat defense or even offensive line or something to protect them. But so it was a little surprising, but knowing the offensive style, I think they made a good choice there.
Yeah, it's Kyler Murray's the guy. He's the clear cut the star of this draft. I mean, there's a bunch of different stars, but I think that he's the clear guy that you take just because of his position.
Yeah.
And as quarterback, you know what I mean? They're always, every year we come into the draft saying, okay, who needs a quarterback? Because those are the teams in the front of the draft who are like, okay, should we trade up? Or should we trade down because we don't necessarily need one right now? Or, you know what I mean? Like, these guys, it's such a huge talking point every single year. There's always a quarterback either taking number 1 or within the top 5 at least, I think. But the second pick, the D end from Ohio State,
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa, yeah, he's I think before Kyler Murray declared, he was supposed to be number 1.
Correct.
So he slides to the 49ers to number 2, obviously. But do you think that this? First of all, do you think he's going to be as good as his brother in LA?
He has that potential.
Yeah.
I mean,
or even better. Or
there's I think he can. I think he can be better than Joey, and the Niners definitely got the guy that they wanted, because when we were watching the draft, the clock was going down, and man, they didn't take long to make their pick, and so that's definitely, they always say defense wins championships, so they have a couple other nice guys to rush the passer, and they just got a big boost right there, so look out for that Niner defense.
Yeah, oh yeah. So did you see this? You see this video all over YouTube? The third pick going to the Jets, Quinnen Williams. He's doing an interview, right? And the camera is just fixed right on him, and he's talking. And the guy asked him a question or something, but he's in this long response, and he just out of nowhere he just leans over. He goes, and he goes, and he under his breath he goes, "Bless you, thank you." I swear to God, yes. It's the funniest thing in the world.
Oh,
He literally
gosh.
said he blessed himself and then thanked himself.
Oh my God,
It was amazing. So,
I'll
and of
just
course,
start-
all these guys who ask those weird questions pre-draft, like those character type questions. Of course, everybody's looking at this video saying, "Oh, he's going to be a star now,"
Of
because
course.
he thinks outside the box.
Yeah.
Or, like, literally, no.
I think
Or
we
they
could,
might just think he's insane.
Yeah,
right.
that too. Yeah.
I mean, if maybe we can all learn a lesson from that, but
Yeah. So you got John Gruden at 4 in the Oakland, Vegas Raiders, whatever it's going to be.
yeah.
The Raiders drafted John Gruden.
Yes. They reached on their first pick. I think this guy is supposed to be in the teens, but with Cleveland Farrell from the D tackle or defensive end. Sorry. What you think he is right to go there at 4? I mean, ahead of some of the other stars, even on his own team.
Well, I know Clemson had a lot of talent
Right.
coming out of that defense, and I honestly didn't think he'd be the first one to go. I thought it was who the Giants picked up in Dexter Lawrence, but I mean, knowing Mr. Gruden, he has his own style, and he's seen guys like Warren Sapp and back in those days, so like he knows what he wants, and he thinks I think it was a good fit. So I just didn't expect that to be the first Clemson defensive guy to go.
Yeah. So Devin White is next to Tampa Bay. He's supposed to be like this he's the future prototype of the linebacker position. He's like a guy who can run a 4.4 to the sideline. Like, it's just super fast. Like, it's insane. But he's supposed to be, who was the guy last year that was taken? He went to the Bears. He was the best linebacker in the draft. Roquan Smith, kind of the same pick. They're like identical, but just super fast linebackers. The next level of guys at that position, but it seems to be a good fit. I feel like Tampa Bay's one of those teams that just churns out defensive players.
Right, and I actually predicted the Tampa Bay to go with a corner because I feel like they love drafting corners.
Yeah.
So, but
That's a little high though.
It is, and it's no
Typical.
surprise that they went with the best available player and best linebacker for defense going.
Right.
So it's I think they made the right decision there.
Yeah. All right. So here's the big one. We've got an NFC East, 2 NFC East fans here. Neither of them for this team. But this is so funny. I'm just laughing at myself because I can just picture all the different reactions that I've seen on TV over the last 2 weeks. But the New York Giants surprised everybody. They were supposed to take, in my opinion, Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
But they went with Daniel Jones, who...
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, I kind of thought he was going to be like a second rounder or third rounder. But the number 6 pick in the draft.
Wow.
Wasn't he like the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the draft?
Yeah, exactly. So the Giants, take him as the
I
second.
didn't even try to understand that one. Hopefully that backfires.
So that's another
Definitely.
that's another thing where they're kind of thinking about, okay, let's look at the intangibles. The coach at Duke coached Peyton and Eli, and he's a similar quarterback to those two, and now he's going to back up Eli for probably 2 games, but and then he's going to start.
Yeah.
But he's like the same type of quarterback as those two. He got coached by the same guy. I'm sure he goes to the Manning quarterback camp every summer. That type of stuff. So I think the Giants were specifically looking at that only, almost. And then I'm sure they worked him out. They liked what they saw, sure. But I think you evaluating the big picture of him and where he plays a role with some of the other quarterbacks and who else they could have got at that position, at that pick, to take him there is just like, just look it up on YouTube. You can see what the actual reactions are.
Right,
it's
I
great.
believe it.
Like the Giants fans that were at the draft.
Exactly. They
didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was great.
Just like
They were shocked. They couldn't.
just like the kid who who had a special reaction to Porzingis of the Knicks in the NBA draft the one year when
didn't
his
he start
reaction
crying?
to get him.
Yeah.
I mean, he started crying.
Yeah.
He was so upset. I mean, I
I
can
think-
see Giants fans doing that now, but
Yeah, New York loves going to the draft, first of all. But like I think I saw him like a year later in a Porzingis jersey. Like it's hilarious. it's really funny. So as Penn State fans as we are, we had a rough season this past season, and the bowl game that we made was against Kentucky, who's a surprise team. Normally doesn't have a very good football program. But they had a defensive stud, and he got taken number 7 to the Jaguars, Josh Allen.
Ooh.
Not the quarterback from.
Yeah, right. He didn't get drafted twice. No, this is a edge rusher from Kentucky. He's Julius Peppers. You know what I mean? Just tall, long,
Peppers,
strong, fast. Like just kind of everything across the board. He's supposed to be the next best edge rusher. You know.
And just recently, the Jaguars announced that their leader in tackles last year is not going to be playing. So it's good that they brought him in to help get tackles and rush the passer. And they already have a pretty good defense. So just adding to that is a great fit.
Yeah. So you're moving on. The Detroit Lions took probably the next Gronkowski in T.J. Hawkinson. Hawkinson, sorry. The tight end from Iowa. They actually had 2 great tight ends. The other one we will get to. He's being called Baby Gronk because I think he's a little bit smaller. Obviously, well, everybody's a little bit smaller than Gronk. He's huge. But he's strong. He actually likes to block, is what I hear. Which is, you don't find that too often in tight ends. They want to catch the ball.
Especially a young guy.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's quick. He's strong. He's bulky. He likes to block. He's good at blocking. He can catch the ball. He's agile. It's when was the last time a tight end got taken in the top 10? Like I think it's been at least 5 years. So it's like you know that's a great tight end. You know he's probably going to be a future star or who knows with Detroit, but
And I think they need offense, so that's a good way to go. I honestly thought they went receiver again. Like they made that choices many times, but tight end, you can always rely on your tight end, so that's a good idea.
Right. So once again, we continue on with this heavy defensive loaded first round, and with the defensive line specifically. Ed Oliver. Out of Houston, goes to Buffalo. Defensive tackle, he's Gerald McCoy-ish. He's another one who's long and lanky. He's not really, heavy type of guy, but muscular and strong and long and lanky and fast and all that stuff, all the above. But the Buffalo Bills is another one, just like Tampa Bay, just kind of like a defensive team, like always just churning out defensive prospects. So it's like, it's a good fit, in other words.
Yeah. I agree. I actually predicted him to go to the Broncos, but
okay, you're close. Yeah. But I say close because he got taken 9, and Denver had the 10th.
Yeah.
They had the 10th. They decided to trade that to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
The Steelers moved up in the draft, obviously, to 10 and took Devin Bush. Yeah, the Michigan linebacker. He's another one who's quick. I don't think he's as good as Devin White, but he's still up there. He's a good linebacker. So him and Rashawn Gary were anchoring that Michigan defense. They had the best defense in college for most of the season last season. And they showed that against our Penn State, but
right.
It was. But Devin Bush, you think that takes over for who's the guy that went down in the bad injury for Pittsburgh?
Ryan Shazier.
Shazier, yeah, that's supposed to be the same type of player too. Shazier's quick, sideline to sideline.
He's come far along.
Yeah. I think he's going to come back.
With him, like it never happened.
Right.
Right. And it didn't look like he was ever going to walk again for a while there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he just Devin Bush playing in Michigan, they they're the Wolverines, and he's going to the Steelers. Like they just bring, I just feel like he's the type of player that brings that attitude and that smash mouth type of style, and he'll do well as he progresses throughout his career.
Yeah. All right, so that rounds out the top 10. Moving on, I'll just ramble off a couple of them. Jonah Williams to Cincinnati, Rashawn Gary to Green Bay. I think that's a good fit because I feel like Green Bay just needs anything on defense.
Clay Matthews went somewhere else, right? Where'd he go?
Oh, I think you're
He went
right.
to the Rams.
Oh,
Rams, that's
okay.
But he's not really.
Yeah,
He's getting out there.
exactly.
But he's still pretty good.
Right.
So.
Christian Wilkins, another defensive tackle from Clemson, goes to Miami. Chris Lindstrom, Boston College offensive guard, to the Falcons.
And Matt Ryan's a good move.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the next big eye popper is the Washington Redskins, who just sat there. They didn't make any moves. They didn't go anywhere. They stayed at 15, and they got lucky, and Dwayne Haskins fell into their lap.
Dwayne Haskins.
They were not expecting that.
Right, exactly. They weren't.
Giants passed them up, and then he goes to a division rival.
And even a lot of people were saying if the Broncos were still there, they could have taken him, but the Broncos moved down. So really, the Redskins got lucky. They didn't have to move. They didn't go anywhere, and they just fell right to him.
Right, and I think, Matt, do you think, or Tyler, any one of you guys can chime in here, do you think the way Haskins plays, he's a mobile quarterback, do you think this is RG3 all over again, or do you think you see a brighter future for Haskins and not as how Griffin started out well and then just faded?
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to last longer than RG3 did.
I'm pretty sure he's bigger. Yeah,
RG3 was so fragile because wasn't he like a track star?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was fast.
So he wasn't really built for football.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why he's still in the league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think is he still a backup in Baltimore?
He's in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I actually, not to call you out, but I actually don't think he's that type of Dwayne Haskins, that type of guy. Like Dwayne Haskins is pocket. Like he's tall and kind of immobile, like just statue-esque.
Okay.
So I think he's not normally of what you think of Ohio State quarterbacks, but he put up 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns at Ohio State last year. He had an incredible season, but they said that quarterback judging, they're saying that he had great vision. It's more so his decision making. Like he's a little slow and he might throw the ball just a tad late. Stuff you can learn, stuff you can
Definitely
make better. But I just don't see. I think he doesn't turn out to be RG3 because I think the RG3 was a different type of quarterback. Okay. I think this guy's he's gonna sit in the pocket more and get protected more. So I think that he's gonna obviously last a little bit longer. To be honest, I just hope he starts over freaking the disaster of a Denver quarterback last year and Case Keenum.
Yeah, that was never a good start.
Oh God. I'm just glad they got out of it. But all right, so the Panthers took Brian Burns after that. The Giants were next up again with their second pick in the first round at 17 and took Dexter Lawrence, we said earlier.
Pick.
Yeah, that's another one where it just fell perfectly.
That one scares me.
I mean, he's got, if you want a big guy in the middle to stop that run, man, he's the full package there.
Yeah. The Vikings took Garrett Bradbury, who I hear is one of those. He's a center who I hear is one of those guys who just puts you in the dirt as soon as he sees you. Just nasty guy. Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle from Mississippi State, goes to the Titans in 19. And then here's where Denver at 10 traded back to 20, and I believe a second rounder after that in the Pittsburgh deal. Mm-hmm. And they took the other tight end from Iowa, Noah Fant, who it's so funny because this is a bad comparison, but I feel like him and Hawkinson in Iowa were identical to the Patriots with Gronk and Mr. Murderer. What was Aaron Hernandez. They're both. No offense to Noah Fant. Yeah, no offense to Noah Fant, but they're that packaged together. They're the same two tight ends. Like all four guys. Like Gronk and Hawkinson and Fant and Hernandez. They're like all
as far as your Broncos are concerned, like, do you think that was getting Fant was the biggest need at this moment?
I don't like taking a tight end that high. I just don't, plain and simple. But I know that they needed him bad, and he's a playmaker at tight end, and I think that we just need playmakers in general. So I think it's not a bad pick, but I think they've reached a little, not too much.
Right.
But I'm happy with it. It's not a horrible pick, so it's okay. But yeah. After that, Green Bay took Darnell Savage Jr., which was the first safety taken in the draft. Who isn't, well, I guess he's the best safety as far as that the four back there, the two corners and the two safeties. Like, I think you had corners available in that pick that were probably better.
Right.
So if you're strictly going for safety, I get it. But if you're just looking for pass coverage, a corner was probably a better pick. And then the first one for the Eagles, Andre Dillard,
out of Washington State. He's I heard he's not just, he can move around too. He can move around any position. He gets vertical, so he can really protect Wentz in the backfield, which is a great idea for the Eagles trying to protect their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually traded up from 25.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
To get him, and I think it's the perfect pick because Jason Peters is. I was not expecting him to come back this year just because it felt like he got injured every single game.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't have much time left. So this was good. This was a really good one. And then you obviously have Lane Johnson on the other side.
Would that be too high to take a running back? Because I know they were looking at running back. I mean,
yeah,
at 22, like, because nowadays people are saying like at best. Now Saquon's a different thing in my opinion.
Right. Yeah,
Saquon at 2 was crazy. Yeah. But if you don't have that type of player, like in the draft, then I think even the next Gurley or so, or a Gurley that isn't Gurley yet, you know what I mean? Like a guy who's supposed to project there but isn't there.
Right.
Like that's at best a late first round, like really late first round, like 30 to a second round and more. So like so at 22, the Eagles, I know that they were looking at running back, but like would that be too high to take one? Like I said, I think tight end was too high at 20, but
it might be. It's kind of right on the line.
Okay.
But I think they made the right pick. They need a successor to Jason Peters because he's about done.
Okay.
But
yeah.
And
okay, so like Titus Howard at 23 got taken to the Texans, and then the first running back off the board, Josh Jacobs, goes to
the Raiders.
Yeah. Alabama running back. Just another. Oh, this guy's smaller, isn't he?
I believe.
Yeah, he's not your traditional Mark Ingram or.
He's more of your power type back.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can.
I haven't watched too much of him.
Alabama produces a lot of those guys.
Well, yeah, they normally have. I was thinking more of like a big stocky, like who's the guy? I know, like I said Mark Ingram, but he's a little shorter. Yeah. But the guy for the Chargers. No, that's Ingram.
Melvin
Gordon.
Or Melvin Gordon. Yeah, no, he's not Alabama. Who am I thinking of? Anyways.
I know. I compare this guy to like a young Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Tennessee. He's huge, and he's not the quickest guy, but he'll run you over.
He had
and
a touchdown run last year. It was like a 98 or 99.
98 or 99,
like
yeah. It was amazing,
it was
dude.
Incredible.
Wow. Yeah. I see. Like they have. Do they still have the other guy that they got from Philly?
DeMarcus.
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray.
He retired. Right?
Oh, did he retire?
Yeah, he was commentating last year, I think.
That's true. Yes, he did.
Was he?
He's
Oh,
not.
shit.
I don't believe he's in the league anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
So then Henry was starting.
Correct.
Okay. I could have sworn the first time I saw Henry, I guess it was 2 years ago. I thought it was last year.
Lewis, the other guy?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
He's kind of splitting time.
Yeah. Okay, so In 25, Ravens take Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown from Oklahoma,
They needed a wide receiver.
who's Antonio's cousin.
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. This guy's supposed to be good. I think he's going to be Antonio. Like, he's just like Antonio. He's super fast.
Same size and everything.
Yeah, pretty much same size. They're saying that he's got the best separation from a receiver in years. Like, the guy, he just knows how to get away from the defender. So it's like, and pair it with that speed, like, this is a deep ball waiting to happen, like,
Right.
with ease.
I believe Lamar Jackson's gonna do better in his second year and find either Brown or whoever can get open for him.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just realized? All three quarterbacks for the Ravens are like the running quarterbacks.
Similar.
All three.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like-
No, probably not.
Because obviously they draft. Well, we'll get to that. The guy
So
they drafted.
right. So after that is a guy who I think fell. All right, we are going to stop right there. Actually, this is, like we said earlier, this is going to be a nice detailed episode. So we're going to have to split this one up. This is part one. Look for part two. It's also coming right at you right now. Thanks.